Yep.
So, who needs a rundown of how this game works? Everyone. Good. So, basically...
Here are your prompts. You get to pick one.
Pick one. You will have 30 minutes to write a story in the genre of surrealism based on the prompt that you pick out of those two. After the 30 minutes end, we will be swapping stories to your secondary one. In your case, you'll be sending the link in Google Docs of Surrealism 2 to Pira.
Yep, fire.
And then you'll be receiving a Google Docs link to finish the second half of Space Opera, of which you'll have 30 minutes to do so.
Yes.
And then you will be reading the story, Thriller. After the first hour of writing, we'll be reading the stories and then voting on the stories.
Is this understood?
This game...
When you're writing the story, are you aiming to sort of like finish it in a way, or is it up in the air whether you're gonna like...
When you're
doing the first half, you're doing the first half, right? You're getting as far as you can into the story, right?
Awesome.
The second person finishes it up.
When you're doing the second half, your only real point is to come to a conclusion for the story, while wrapping up as many plot holes and ties as you can, and keeping as close to the genre and prompt as possible.
Yes.
Okay, and Josh, what is your username? I'm so sorry.
Joshua.
His current username is Koda.
He changed it back.
No, okay. This is why we should do it in the fishbowl.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
30 minutes of writing. Hunter's the clock.
I am, as always, the clock.
Yep. I too will mute.
Am I allowed to look at my penis while I do it?
As long as everybody can see it.
Whatever you want.
If you have enough for the class.
Yeah.
You bring it up to share.
Alright. Count us down, Condor.
Alright. Gamers. 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, everyone. Finish up whatever sentence you're on.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's it. Alright.
I feel like I just wrote
Insert
a
line.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're gonna have a line. So at the very bottom of your page, you're going to go to Insert, Horizontal Line, and just to separate the two halves, to make it easier to see who wrote what.
Yes.
And when it's convenient for you, get your word count and post it in the writing game.
And I will
text chat.
I have to say, Koda's writing, it may not be much, but it was very high quality.
It really wasn't fair that we started literally the second he came back. Koda. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
About you.
Yeah. You can
see listening.
Who's talking shit about you?
What?
Yeah. It's like, God damn it, this motherfucker handed me like 3 words in there. Fuck you too.
And
it's one paragraph, guys. It's one paragraph.
On top of that, he smells like Jolly Ranchers, and he stole my car.
Oh.
You stole my car. Is that what happened to my marquee?
Yeah.
You took
No, that was me. I needed it for lemons.
First Steve said it was in fact
You should
me.
have took my cobalt. Remember the one that we pushed up a mountain 3
Yeah,
miles to the dot?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to waste your cobalt.
Indeed. That was a fun trip. I like that.
Why'd you leave me with that one?
My favorite part was when you all looked at me and was like, "Hey, Connor, you're good at running. Go run up the mountain."
Why don't I remember
and go get everyone else.
Did you guys really enjoy when you called for help on the radio with an SOS, and instead of Garrett showing up with his truck to tow you, it was me walking?
Yes.
Yeah, that was something else.
All right, gamers. 3, 2, 1. Right.
Heard that, scrotum leading ball sack command.
All right, finish up, everyone.
Alright, is that time?
Alright.
Okay.
I think I did good. I think I did good. I think I managed to wrap it around. I'm so happy you chose that name in the Lullaby Fire.
I'm so not happy with my performance here tonight.
I wrote 290 that time.
Okay,
All right,
I wrote.
Give me a second to
That
get
was
down the
an
originals
entirely
first. All right.
unsatisfying ending to that story.
Oh.
But
It can't
That's
be any worse
okay.
than what I did to Andrews.
Well, we will find out.
This one's first half was
Connor.
written by Connor, second half by me.
Gotcha.
Alright, Iffy, whenever you're ready, get to reading.
Iffy is in laughing right now.
Okay.
When they get
Bruh.
Okay. I know you enjoyed the soundboard.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories tonight.
Yep.
We are not sleeping.
Alright, I'll be back. Don't wait for me.
Okay. He'll just have to read it on his own when it comes to the voting time.
Yeah.
God.
God damn, dude.
We're not fucking sleeping tonight.
Alright. A socially awkward cosmonaut on a solo mission to Neptune begins receiving sonnets over radio from an intelligent comet wearing a diamond-cut tiara. And when she realizes the suitor speaks poetry, she must choose whether to kiss a frozen celestial body or risk never going home.
What?
Damn, that's a long prompt.
It's also barely romance.
Alright.
That was awful. Alright, let's begin.
You should have seen the other one I was given.
We will. We will.
The year was 2152. The location? An orbit around the celestial body of Jupiter within the primary solar system. Her mission? To study the chemical and geological composition of Jupiter's rings, and in particular the nature of one rogue comet that recently joined it. You see, Jupiter's orbit is primarily composed of microscopic particles that coalesced back when it was formed during the earlier expansion of the universe. Space dust in short. However, shortly before her mission and departure from Earth, a strange comet, most likely ice-based, arrived in Jupiter's orbit from an unknown location. It was appended to her mission objectives, though at the time, I thought little of it. How wrong I was to take it as your average pile of space junk. How wrong indeed. Excerpt from interview with Jason Hudley, NASA director, shortly after the destruction of Lasar Station in the upper orbit of Jupiter.
I've got two questions. Is it supposed to be Neptune?
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
Did I forget what planet it was immediately? Yes.
Okay.
Neptune does not have rings. Or does it? Space, anyways.
No,
Go ahead.
doesn't.
Go ahead. Oh, fuck.
Fail! Anyway.
Listen, it is a celestial body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jenny was one of the brightest and youngest members of the Space Academy when she was sent on her first ever space mission to Jupiter. The hyperdrive technology that carried her and her crew into its orbit was unfortunately expendable in single use, meaning that after arriving, they would be in orbit for the duration of their mission, and then be required to travel several years at sublight speed to reconnect with the nearest Terra base capable of sending them back to Mother Earth. It was a frightening prospect, yes, but for the brave scientists aboard the TST Lasara station ship, it was an unrivaled opportunity. Yeah! She moaned awake, coming to her senses within the craft. They had just arrived and converted the station the day prior. I swear, whoever's doing that, I'm gonna stab you.
Who's the fucking skunk?
And today would be her first spacewalk within the rings. Morning sunshine, chirped Dee, the resident psychologist and cook aboard the craft. How the early space pioneers had subsided on only vacuum-sealed nutrient paste she would never know. Ready for your jaunt today, hun, Dee spoke, carrying breakfast into the room. It smelled delightful. Yeah, mumbled Jenny, shaking the sleep from her eyes. After devouring the breakfast, Jenny noticed a note that had appeared on her nightstand while she was sleeping. Contact Bill, it said in large, messy handwriting. Something is fucking, was written below it in considerably neater font. Bill and Will were the two comms and visual techs aboard in charge of all matters of info gathering and observation. After getting dressed and making her way to the hub, the center of the now station.
It's not funny.
Jenny saw the two arguing. Well, that's literally impossible. I get it, Bill, but I've already calibrated the system 5 times today. Well, then maybe we should do it again! It was unlike the two to argue like this. Jenny quickly rushed between them and tried to get to the bottom of it. A socially awkward cosmonaut. Sorry. The hell are you two on about? She put her hand between them and parted the two for a moment. The ratings are all wrong! Spoke Bill. Something fuckish going on! Echoed Will. Maybe if the equipment were being properly calibrated. Gentlemen! Jenny interrupted. What is going on? See for yourselves! They said in unison. Jenny peered down at the printed readings before her. The first set was a series of images from JCOMXXXV11.
JCOM
I'm not
37.
translating that.
That's JCOM 37.
Okay. The rogue comet in orbit, which the station was monitoring to prevent impact. It was made of what appeared to be ice, as expected, but something seemed to be extruding from the top. She patted the first image, uncovering higher resolution scans and photos. A lattice of metal with fine gems inlaid was pointing to the planetary north. It was a massive tiara? Half frozen into the comet, but unmistakable at its side. What the hell? She panicked. Look at the audio logs! Gestured Will. There's no mistake! I promise you! I promise.
Notably, there's no quotations there, but I assume he was talking.
Yes, Edward, orbit around Neptune. I get it.
Also, cosmonauts are Russian, and you specified they were part of NASA.
That's probably fine.
Where did I say cosmonaut?
It's in the prompt.
Okay, chill. I glanced over and saw nothing but indeterminate waveforms racing across the screen. You know, it would help a bit if you turned the volume up. Or not at all. What? Oh, yeah, my bad, said Will as he scrambled up the volume before remembering what he had to unplug his headphones for the speakers to work. There. The sounds blasting from the speakers were melodic in nature. Too melodic, in fact, to really be what we expected from nature, such as a ball of ice in space. Weirdly shaped or not. That sounds like Shakespeare. Oh, hold on. That sounds like Shakespeare, doesn't it? I asked. What do you mean? Shakespeare sounds more like Screamo to me. Spoke Bill. Fucky indeed. So what say you? Should we take a walk and poke it? I think we should. Will asked me. They were both looking at me expectantly. I was the only one on shift who had trained for spacewalks at all. Screw it, why not? Will you go get the others ready to watch for me, and I'll get suited up? Will dashed away to call everyone to station, and I left Bill sitting at his monitor, mumbling to himself as he tried to make sense of the signal once more. Shakespeare? Seriously? I heard him mutter under his breath. 15 minutes had passed, and I was standing on the precipice of the station, ready and waiting for the go signal from the bridge to jump towards the comet that was now clearly visible roughly 150 meters away. I received the go-ahead, and off I was. The closer I got, the warmer I felt, which is weird for space, and also while approaching a ball of ice, which turned out to be a whole lot smaller than I expected. Wow, guys, this thing is really small. It's basically the size of a person, I said. The response I received came from a voice I could barely hear, and one I didn't recognize. It wasn't words per se, but more images in my mind that took the form of old poems that I recognized from my many hours curled up in a bay window and fantasizing about knights and dragons and other such romantic things. As my mind wandered, I made contact with the asteroid. Instantly, it spoke to me, and I felt myself drawn in towards it as if it were the Prince Charming from my dreams. A scream in my ear from the radio stabbed me back to reality as I felt a shockwave push me as what felt almost like a shift in gravity. I looked back at the station just in time to see another almost human-sized comet collide with the ship and send debris flying everywhere. I panicked.
Fear not, young lady. You will not be harmed. I can save you.
I turned to where I could have sworn I heard the voice coming from, despite being in a hard vacuum. I saw the comet, and from it emanated a glow atop what I now saw as its head.
I can save you from the Dark One who has damaged your vessel and injured your crew. All I ask for is but a kiss to seal this contract, and you all will be saved from a horrible fate.
What is this, Sleeping Beauty?
I'm gonna assume that the quotations were supposed to end there. I was dumbfounded. The comet had transformed into a man. Strong and handsome features. Just as I had envisioned my ideal prince to be. Rock hard and manly. Looking back at the station, I saw the other comet turn and speed towards me.
Hurry! There isn't much time.
The comet urged. Without thinking, I closed my eyes and leaned forward. I felt my helmet lift off my head and was embraced by a warmth that I had never before experienced.
What?
It was as if the sun were caressing me in such a way as would be expected of lovers.
Jesus Christ.
This was a story.
This is one of the stories of all time.
It was one of the prompts of all time, too.
It was a prompt of all time.
It was one of the prompts of all time.
Like, I think given the prompt.
Okay, what was the other prompt?
I
feel like
will
now
let
would
you
be the
know.
time.
Let me tell you.
You guys have been
what the
hyping it
other
up.
prompt was,
Alright.
It wasn't like that. The other prompt was every night at 2:17 a.m. exactly. The lone lamppost in the town square flickers in Morse code, spelling out heart-shaped messages. And when the town's only locksmith arrives to fix it, she finds herself slowly, inexplicably falling in love with its secret nocturnal pulse.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
What exactly did you ask ChatGPT for?
I said, please write me 2 one-sentence prompts in the romance genre.
What?
All right.
Yep.
And in both of them, where would be a period is instead a hyphen.
Wonderful.
Like, they're functionally 2-sentence prompts.
That's not an
hyphen.
I don't think that's hyphen. That's like a long hyphen. I forget what they're called.
Whatever. You all understand what I'm talking
It's still a hyphen.
It's an M dash.
It's called an M dash.
Yeah, it's M dash. Don't ever put those in college papers. You will be kicked out of the college
for communism.
Plagiarism.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they'll think you used AI to write your paper.
Yeah.
I'll be kicked out of college for arson before I get kicked out for plagiarism.
Not all of us should be
right.
chemists.
This was.
That was romance technically. Next
Why
we're
was
having.
your friend wearing a tiara?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Right.
They're not
All of this
restrictive.
is the
It's
tiara
Next
that's
up
the most
is
confusing.
folk story read
Big
by
gay.
me. Great.
All right.
All right.
I hope I did good. I really do.
I hope
Okay, yeah, who wrote
Brody
this
does
one?
not wake up.
I started it.
Let's find out.
All
Go
right.
ahead
First
and read.
half by Nicholas, second half by Josh.
Yep.
We have a folk story read by Heck.
Prompt.
Oh, no.
A mute girl is the only one that can hear the lullaby that keeps the wolves walking like men. The midnight air was frolicking across my skin as my mother called to me from the village below. Don't stay out too much longer. Either the cold or the wolves of the night will snatch you away. In response, I waved in acknowledgement. For without a tongue, I could not do much more than a gurgling sound otherwise. Little did she know that I cared little for the tales my village used to say about the night wolves. Vicious creatures that stalk and hunt in groups. They'll tear you limb from limb if they get the scent that you're alone. Please, they were really just the lost souls of men who yearned for the sweet embrace of Luna, the moon goddess. A young lady's voice sang through the mountains on the wisps of the wind. I call to the wolves, fierce as you are, to bring my lover forth into my arms, to keep safe and sound, to bring my dear Loba home. I loved the lullaby that I wanted to sing with all my heart, but no one believed where I heard it from. The boys back home even went so far as to start calling me a liar. So tonight I will prove them all wrong. I will convince Luna to lend me her song so that the whole village could hear. The howls of wolves began to pierce the night as their paws flickered up the snow as they ran through the night up the mountain. Normally these wolves would be on all fours hunting for prey, but whenever I heard the song, they would start up on 2 legs. I didn't believe that they would hurt me in their entrance state, but I still gave my mother's warning some peace of mind as I approached the summit. I called to all the wolves, all near and far, to bring peace to the land. Please return to your dens, and to give love a second chance. Bring my dear Loba home. The song ended for a moment as I reached a bush overlooking the pack of night wolves that were upon the mountain's peak. Howls of longing pierced the night as they all slowly slumped back to 4 legs. The singing ceased, and the wolves wearily made their way into a small cave into the cliff face of the peak. I carefully made my way up to the peak to see them, but as the lullaby began again, but this time only humming. I wished to hum along so badly. I made my way closer and closer to what I presumed to be the wolves' den, and the voices humming grew louder and louder with every crunching step I took in the deep snow. I reached the summit, only to be greeted by one of these night wolves, staring at me not with anger, but with contempt. The eyes glowed with a shimmering blue, almost blending in with the moon shone behind it. I took a step toward it, and as I did, I took a step back. I put my hand out to pat its head, but it only veered away. Putting my hand down, it turned around and ushered me to follow it. As I turned the corner toward the summit, I was greeted with the opening to the den, with all of the wolves staring at me with the same feeling of contempt as the one who ushered me. However, one stood out from the rest, deeper in the den, a larger wolf with a sheet of fur as white as the snow I stood on. Its tail large like that of a fox, and ears high like that of a bobcat. I had never seen this wolf before, and was quick to get a little fearful of it, due to its sheer presence and magnitude. It stood up on its 4s and approached me, not leaving a single paw print. As it walked up, I noticed the humming was coming from it. The singing was coming from her. Unfortunately, I understand why I was the only one able to hear the singing. Why was no one else? The singing stopped. "You are like us," the same voice said. Rather, she said. "You hear us, and you hear them. The wolves' howls, they're wanting. They wish to be free. The wolves hold your ancestors, tamers the wild, but that taming has long since passed." I was confused as to what the wolf was asking. "Your singing can free them. Give them peace, and let the wolves run free." I gestured toward my throat, indicating that I cannot sing. "You believe you cannot sing? Doesn't mean you can't. Try, and you will." I turned around the cliff, facing the expanse of the wilderness from the mountain peak. I took a deep breath. With a grasp on hope, I tried to sing. "I call to the wolves, fierce as you are, to bring my lover forth into my arms, to keep safe and sound, to bring my dear Loba home." The wolf began to sing as well. "I call to the wolves, all near and far, to bring peace to the land. Please return to your dens, and to give love a second chance. Bring my dear Loba home." For the first time, I had finally heard my own voice, what I sounded like, and I broke down in tears. I quickly turned to see the snow-like wolf was gone, and all of the blue had disappeared from the eyes of the rest of the pack. They stood up, all gave a large howl, and ran down the mountain, leaving a snowy cloud in their wake. I now understand what the song was calling for. "Bring my dear Loba home," I said aloud to myself. "Loba means she-wolf."
It's a bit goofy way to end it.
I do like
It
how
was
you
greedy
did
and
with,
Saint Denis.
with the singing with how you did about that.
Sorry, who wrote that
the
again?
throat problem.
That was me. I was the
First half
second half.
Nicholas, second half Joshua.
Yeah.
I could detect some of the Josh-isms, though I thought it was the first half.
You skipped quite a few lines throughout the story.
Where?
A couple words like.
You failed!
Like a couple of words
throughout it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Like words and lines are not quite equivalent.
Yeah,
but
no,
that's why
I know I fucked up a couple of words along the way. I usually do. But I was like, I skipped some lines. Holy fuck.
No. I meant words. That's why I corrected myself. But.
Alright, wonderful. So it looks like we've got Cosmic Horror next.
Cosmic
Read by Josh.
Read by me. Okay.
Yep.
What a fun word that would be, cosmic.
This would be a long one.
I stole it from an old
I think we should make it a thing.
Comic.
Just add isic to the end of a lot of words and they become more interesting.
Yeah.
No.
Cheese isic.
It was like the Pawaza Cosmic or something.
Yeah.
He was getting rebranding. He had he had like a PR agent.
Piss Mizik.
The Statue of Liberty is
Yes.
Jizizik. I like that one.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyway.
Penizic. Penisizic.
Alright.
Nice.
Enough with that.
This is Pussy all over again.
Only high quality bits around here, I see.
Okay.
Who wrote this one?
It was first half me, second half Connor.
Perfect.
You'll find the first half is better.
That's for us to decide.
This is true.
All right. Every night, the stars rearrange themselves into symbols no one can decipher, until one day, a child begins carving them into her skin. In certain ancient civilizations, it is said that each star we see in the night sky embodies the spirit of a long-dead god who wanders and watches and looks in at the goings-on of man in quiet curiosity. That they await us when we pass on and ascend to their starry domain. For all things must die, even gods. In certain texts, it is claimed that the stars have wills of their own, and that one day the long-deceased gods who once walked among men will return and render destruction unto the men who abandoned them, and that then will be the end of days. When I began to look into these texts, I believed nothing of the sort. To me, life has always been a puzzle, a challenge to overcome, a problem that can be solved. I'd always viewed the unlocking of mysteries of the universe as the goal of any truly educated mind. And in my 30 years of tenure as professor of theoretical astronomics, thank you.
Yep.
As a professor of theoretical astronomics at St. James University in Barrowton, Massachusetts, I had pieced together a theory which I believed could unlock the secrets of four-dimensional existence itself and usher humanity into a new age of understanding. My theory, while quite complex, rooted mainly around a certain cluster of stars that briefly appeared in the northern hemisphere in the early spring months following the equinox. They seemed to shift positions from year to year, and every star chart in the university's records seemed to put them in slightly different variations of their classical orientations. This was by itself of no small interest, but for years had been overlooked as mere clerical errors in record keeping. I, however, being myself an avid astronomer and quite certain of my own recordings, soon found that the recordings were no error, and that the stars indeed appeared to change in their position each year and every year. This was the foundation of my hypothesis that space itself warps around invisible clusters of extra-dimensional matter, likely found in the 5th or 6th dimension, and that an invisible flow of this antimatter was behind the star's positional readjustments. This in turn led me to investigate the records of the stars in question, a cluster referred to as the Crown of Helios by Greek philosophers who, too, noticed their strange behavior. There were sightings earlier than the Greeks, however, as my research was able to prove. In the campus library existed several tomes of exceptional antiquity which bore the accounts of a certain R.W. Smith, a British explorer of the 17th century who spent nearly 2 decades studying the traditions of native Cherokee tribes in the then French-owned Louisiana territories. It is in these records that I found mention of several myths, which, while quite entertaining, provided no real scientific merit. What was of more interest, however, was several recountings of the natives' ritual prayers, which were performed by drawing certain symbols into fire-scorched earth. These symbols were purported to ward off evil spirits, and their imagery was shockingly reminiscent of the modern vector line equations. This intrigued me to the point of asking one of my students' assistants to ask around the local Cherokee populace for an elder or wise man that might be able to provide more insight into the drawing, which I had unearthed. My assistant's follow-up was as sudden as it was surprising, for no sooner had I asked for the council of elders at the local reservation than they had produced a girl of 9, desperate for any kind of psychological evaluation. Being themselves underprivileged, as is the fate for most American Indians in today's 20th century America, they were delighted to hear that I was from the college and asked me to perform an evaluation. While I am no psychiatrist, I agreed immediately, if only because of the stories my assistant had passed on to me. The girl, it would seem, had been experiencing strange episodes around the time of the equinox, ever since the age of 6. At first, it is reported she would begin carving a manner of strange symbols and pictograms into the dirt for days on end, claiming that they were in some way imperfect or flawed. The madness would continue for days, until, without fail, the girl would begin to mutilate herself, carving the symbols across the inside of her arms and her chest. The progression had become so regular that the girl's parents could anticipate the occurrence, and she had taken to tying her up as soon as first symptoms manifested. Dissatisfied with their solution to the girl's condition, parents allowed me to examine her body with their supervision. And what I found startled me even more than the violent nature of her self-inflicted mutilation. The symbols carved into her flesh were exact replicas of the Crown of Helios as observed this year, side by side with several of the strange pseudo-religious pictograms cataloged by R.W. Smith. When asked what the symbols meant, the girl simply stated that they kept the whispers from her head. Though she refused to elaborate whose whispers they were. Fearing for the girl's mental state, I transferred her to a colleague of mine who specialized in child psychiatry. As curious as the girl's connection to my research was, I resolved to put her needs first, though a thought in the back of my mind scolded me for giving up on my quest so easily. Dr. Brandon Thorpe, the psychiatrist assigned to the girl, was eager to give me updates on her condition, especially as the date of the equinox neared. He had become increasingly concerned that the restraints used to keep her in bed at night were not strong enough to keep her from harming herself in the night. His concerns, it seemed, were not without merit. The night prior to the equinox, and 3 after she had begun exhibiting her symptoms again, she broke free. Dr. Thorpe had assured me time and time again that no sharp objects could be found in the room, and in this he was correct. When neither of us could have anticipated, however, is that she would bite off her own fingernails and use them to etch ever more symbols upon her flesh. She was reported to have been found huddling in the corner of a room when the morning came, and several orderlies rushed to her side to assess her state and provide medical attention. Thorpe found me at the university that night, and we rushed to the hospital where she was being kept safe. It was not an easy task to convince the nurses to remove her bandages, but I had to see what she had transcribed. What I saw was the current position of the crown, as I had observed it the night before. How had she known its exact position? I was compelled to double-check my own readings and was shocked to see that she had even been more accurate than I. Worse even, they seemed to be moving with increasing intensity. I had to know what was going on within my mind. My assistant ran to find a translator and so that we could glean some information before the equinox proper. What was compelling her to act in such ways? As if she was possessed. The translator arrived, and we waited for what felt to be an eternity. She had fainted from exhaustion and strain. So did we, for several hours. About noontime, the day before the equinox, she woke up screaming, "Whoa!" She repeated that phrase again and again.
Yeah, that should be, I just put the translation of that for you there. But I'm sure you did a good job.
I mean, I just read what I saw.
Yeah, it's...
Regal Kakawowo.
You're right.
Yep, I'm sure you've offended nobody. Alright, keep going.
She repeated that phrase again and again, all the while gesturing to her chest, scar-filled and sweaty as it was. The translator woke, having fallen asleep himself, and informed me that she was simply repeating the word map.
Now, don't
it made no sense. Oh yeah, I do. Oh yes, map. The carvings upon...
Sorry.
The carvings upon her body were observations that anyone could make, and that I had for years. But something tugged at the ends of my psyche. A theory. Within the same ancient storybooks and records as the tales concerning the light were replications of ancient pictograms found scrawled into Mother Earth. These mysterious figures could be found throughout the world, and often depicted early humans with ritual tattoos. Tattoos that I now recognize as the same ones dotting the girl's own body. Worse, I recognize several of them, and the locations that they were kept seemed identical. This was no coincidence. Delving through the further texts, I came across the personal diaries of R.W. Smith. In one entry, he speculated that the symbols were perhaps not wards after all. They were never finished, as some natural disaster or madman would dash them and ruin the symbols every time before too many could be gathered in one place. In one account, a total of 49 had been gathered, the same number as were on the girl, when an eclipse began to form. My reading was interrupted by the sudden darkness cast through my window, like a blanket was thrown over the sun. How can an eclipse happen now? They were predictable. I ran outside, seeing the crown of Helios higher. Surrounding the corona or the sun now were the 3 stars, each at an equidistant length and pulsing with unnatural night. I had to dash the symbols. My legs carried me with all the strength they had, and I found the girl at the psychiatric institute surrounded by fainted, or worse, orderlies. She had held a shard of glass in her hand and carved a final symbol before turning to me, silhouetted against the corona and speaking in perfect English. I am the manifest, the record of attempts to break the seal. You forgot us and your hubris. We never forget you.
Nice.
Alright.
That was awesome.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
like that. I really like that. That was fun.
Okay.
It was a good one. But first, I'm gonna Google Translate.
Matthias wrote the first half, and I'm guessing Connor the second.
Yes.
Nope. You guys? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct names. Correct names.
I was like, nope, I wrote both
Yeah.
halves.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell you guys' styles are very.
Connor, what were this? What was this again? Was this what
So
was?
I retrieved that translation from the Cherokee Nation Language Department word list
Is that what-
map, and again, that's where I got the audio file for someone saying that phonetically,
I thought that was you.
and that is just the like Unicode translation for it.
What is what? Okay, what is the audio file? Could I hear
It's
it?
in Discord.
It says
I
map.
put it in the writing in chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It says
That's
map.
what I said. Is I've provided a
It sounds
phonetic
nothing
translation
like what
for
you
it.
said.
I didn't. I was not. I did not hear you. Hold on. Ah, that is nothing like what I said. I see.
Alrighty.
Well, my apologies. Since
Let's go
here
on
I am-
to Thriller.
Joshua's apologies to the
epistolary
entire
fiction.
Cherokee Nation.
Yeah. Yep. Epistolary fiction. Who is? Actually, I've got the doc for that. All right.
My bad.
What? It's the order. It's.
I said the wrong one.
Okay.
I said the wrong one.
All right. Nicholas, you're gonna be reading.
Oh, I'm reading it. Ah, right.
Epistolary fiction. Okay, this was first half by me, second half by Connor,
No, I did the second half.
second half by Iffy.
Connor did the second half of the last one. How did he do 2 second halves?
Don't worry about it.
It's just like how Prime did both halves of the first one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
Alrighty. After
We're just so talented.
discovering a series of hidden letters in her late grandmother's attic, a young woman pieces together a forbidden love story that challenges everything she thought she knew about her family's past.
Ooh.
Photo albums, old clothes, dusty books, and Christmas decorations lay scattered on the floor as I dig through boxes in the attic and reminisce about my grandmother. I had in my hand a plate from a particularly ornate yet ugly china set that Grandma never used, but always kept locked in a hutch near the pantry. As I went to set it down, and I spotted out of the corner of my eye a leather-bound journal that I remember Grandmother carrying in her purse, yet I'd never seen the contents. Decades of curiosity caught up with me in that moment as I sat down to pursue its contents. 15/3/1950. Dear Abigail, I pray my letters have reached you in safety and in health, for I have yet to see leave of this place. Our station here has taken a turn for the worse, as the lines drawn have ceased to move in either favor or misfortune. The no man's land has remained as populous of the damned as ever, and I fear that these moments are but the prelude to something far worse. Garrett. 24/1915. Dear Abigail, how lucky we have been thus far. Last night marked the first, and I pray last, time that we experienced the toxic gas weapons of the Germans. Many of my company have passed, and I felt myself the burning in my lungs as the cloud passed over us. I thank God that the wind was with us when it came, or I too might have been one of the many who now lay dead. I miss you, my love. I hope to see you soon. Yours truly, Garrett. 12/7/1915. Dear Abigail, I'm sorry for my long absence in correspondence. The lines have moved forward in our favor, and I have found myself away from couriers these past months. Please know that I will make it back to you soon. These most recent events have given me hope to be back with you by year's end. I long to see you again, and to hold our child. It pains me so that I had to leave you so shortly after Edward's birth. I'll endeavor never to make the same mistake again. I love you, Abigail. We'll be together again soon. Garrett. That was the last letter from this Garrett, who seems to claim to be the father of my father, yet that can't be right. My grandfather's name was James. Surely there must be something here that I'm missing. I think to myself as I pore over the letters again and again, if there is something more to them then I can't see it. Maybe someone else would know. Grandmother's younger sister is still alive. She might have some answers for me about this. I immediately dialed her number on the rotary to ask her if she knew anything about Garrett. After described what I found, she was silent for several moments before telling me this is a matter better discussed in person. I drove to her home and sat down with her as she prepared to tell me what caused her such pause. What I'm about to tell you, dearie, you mustn't ever tell your father, because he doesn't know. I'll start at the beginning, back before the First Great War. My older sister was still in high school when she started bringing Garrett by the house. He was a handsome, sweet boy with pretty hair and a nice smile. The two of them spent a lot of time together, they did, usually by the river in the park downtown. Eventually, he proposed to her and, well, you know how the story goes there. She got pregnant with his baby boy, your father, and oh, they were so happy. Then the war started, an awful long war. Garrett got his number on the radio and had to leave to go fight in Europe. My sister, she was heartbroken after hearing all what was going on over there. He wrote her letters to let her know he was okay. After, Austin said how he wouldn't get home soon. Those were the letters she saved, the ones he had. But eventually the letters, they came slower and slower until they just stopped coming. My sister got the worst, and with no one to help care for your newborn father, she was desperate. She came back and lived with the family for a few months until she met your grandfather. He wasn't as nice a man as Garrett, but he wouldn't pull himself up by the bootstraps to provide, and he had the hots for her. She went with him and started to raise her dad. He seemed like even after what she'd been through, life was starting to get normal again. I went and visited often just to make sure everything was okay over there. And then, well, I really shouldn't be telling you this, but, well, Garrett came home. He went back to the old place first, but when he found out...
I know, I'm pausing you right there. Can I know I'm not part of this, but can I veto a story? I cannot sit here and listen to this.
Repeat after me.
No right. No right.
Including the right to speak.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Let's continue.
I will go back to the previous slide.
Alright.
And then, well, I really shouldn't be telling you this, but, well, Garrett came home. He went back to their old place first, but when he found out he was up for sale, he came and saw me. I told him where my sister was, and I begged him not to go bothering her after she thought he was dead, but he had to see her. I told him where he could find her and rode in the car with him and my pa to make sure things went okay. When he walked up to the house and looked through the window to see another man with her, he broke. He couldn't bring himself to even knock on the door. We didn't hear from Garrett for quite some time. I thought he had moved on to somewhere new, just to get away from it all. After a few weeks, this paper was at the door. It says how a young war veteran was found hanging from the water bridge at the park. It was Garrett. When my sister found out, she was devastated. I tried to hide it from her at first, but you know how old people talk. She was never the same after that. We never told your pa because we thought it would only hurt him, and I want you to not tell him either. Garrett left a note for my big sis when he died, but I never told her about it. I still have it somewhere, actually. Let me find it real quick.
All right,
My beloved Abigail.
Oh God!
Wait, who's going through and fixing this up as we go? Someone's been doing that. Anonymous blobfish.
what?
Doing what?
Oh, yeah. Viewer mode. Someone switch it to viewer mode.
Yeah. No, again, someone has been like fixing it up as we go. Unfortunate.
Yeah, no, we know that's not allowed. I did not fix up my story.
I fixed exactly 2 things.
Oh, it was you.
I fixed exactly 2 things. I'll put them back.
Just saying.
I'll put
Is
it
it
back.
ahead or before?
No,
It doesn't matter.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Alright, we good?
Yeah,
We good?
Let's keep it flowing.
My beloved Abigail, I cherished every moment we had together before I left for the war. It was your light that led me, and your light that saved me from the darkness of the battlefield. None of this is your fault, my love. Please keep living the life you have made for yourself to its fullest. I am sorry I'm not a stronger man. I am sorry I couldn't make it home to you fast enough. Garrett. He was a good man, Garrett. I think he didn't want to stir things up for Abby after he saw her with the baby and her new husband. He just didn't have it in him to keep going after losing her light. The doctor man said he drank himself to oblivion under the bridge before he left. I hope when he met the good Lord God, that God saw his great services and forgave him. That's all I know about your grandpa. Would you like a cookie, dear?
Yeah.
Dang. Garrett and Abby, huh?
Garrett and Abby.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, I gotta say though, this was a much better epistolary fiction. Or more epistolary than our previous epistolary fiction was.
Yeah.
Much more
This
so.
one is a very strong contender for me. I think this one's my top choice right now.
No offense, Nicholas.
I think it was
you
wonderful.
don't have a grandmother's voice.
Yeah.
I don't
But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I love the accent that could not place. It was wonderful.
I get that a lot.
Alright, wonderful. So next up is
Koda reading a
Thriller?
thriller?
Sweaty and Harry.
They're all on the old Thriller episode.
Yep.
We are listening to Chode FM.
True FM Thriller with Prime Battlefield 6 and this other guy. Me.
Let ball, please proceed when ready.
Alright. After waking up in a hotel room with no memory of the past 48 hours, a journalist finds a bloodied flash drive labeled with tomorrow's date. Marcus was walking. No. Marcus was floating. Fields of golden wheat spread across the horizon as far as he could see across the impossibly flat landscape. He could feel the wheat tickling his feet and clitoris as he moved slowly in the air across the field, and a slight wind moved clouds lazily in the pastel blue sky. And something small in the distance. A bird? A plane? No, just a speck. Marcus squinted. The object was moving fast, incredibly fast. As it got closer and harder, he could see it better.
Okay, Koda, it's funny, but also like, come on, man.
Yeah, let's keep the like. It's funny, but we also are like seriously trying to write.
I understand. I have to find.
The next line does not help. But
Yeah.
It really.
This is what makes you guys.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Let's just calm down. Let's just continue on.
Deep breath.
All right.
It was a gigantic piece of rock, misshapen and oblong, hurtling faster than a bullet, faster than anything he could imagine. Behind it, the wheat burned within milliseconds of the object passing. The ash formed a tsunami of black. Before Marcus could process, The rock. It was upon him. He could feel the searing heat, and then Marcus shot up in bed, sheets around him damp with sweat. Milliseconds after, pain besieged his head. He fell back onto the sweat-soaked sheets.
Your push to talk activated. Last we heard of the sheets.
Yeah, the sweat.
You can handle it. You can handle it. Keep going.
Would you like to sub in for Connor, Koda?
It's okay.
Yeah, would you like me to sub in for you?
Sheets were wet. The sheets were wet. His vision slowly came back to him. He wasn't in the room. He knew that. Out the window. Sorry, my cat keeps fucking my Discord. The bustling heights. Go away, please. The bustling heights of New York came into view. The dark of night, broken by skyscrapers that pierced the sky. His last memory was leaving his work at the Daily New Yorker to go home. He rolled over to survey the scene. The room was trashed. He got up from the bed, rubbing his eyes. He checked the date on the clock next to his bed. But it was 2 days after when he remembered leaving for work. He roamed around the room, looking for clues. His eyes landed on something on a desk on the far wall. He picked up a hotel key card. His hands made contact with something on the other side.
Hold it together.
You sure you don't want to sub?
Are you sure you don't want me to just take it from here?
Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. It
Okay,
sounds like you're stoned out of your mind.
Yep, I'm gonna take it from here. Alright.
Wet substance coated his fingers.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking it. Alright, gamers!
Can I summon my girlfriend?
Can we get a you know, Koda?
Rip Koda.
I'm just gonna start from the start because I think that's gonna be faster.
We do appreciate you reading, Koda. It was funny. We're gonna restart with the serious read.
Alright. After waking up in a hotel room with no memory of the past 48 hours, a journalist finds a bloodied flash drive labeled with tomorrow's date. Story name, Overgrowth Protocol. Marcus was walking. Wait, no. Marcus was floating. Fields of golden wheat spread out across the horizon as far as he could see, across the impossibly flat landscape. He could feel the wheat tickling his feet as he moved slowly in the air across the field, and a slight wind moved clouds lazily in the pastel blue sky. Then, something small in the distance, just a speck. Marcus squinted. The object was moving fast, incredibly fast. As it got closer, he could see it better. It was a gigantic piece of rock, misshapen and oblong, hurtling faster than a bullet, faster than anything he could imagine. Behind it, the wheat burned within milliseconds of the object passing, the ash forming a tsunami of black. Before Marcus could process, it was upon him. He could feel the heat searing, and then Marcus shot up in bed. Sheets around him damp with sweat. Milliseconds after, pain besieged his head. He fell back down onto the sweat-soaked sheets, and his vision slowly came back to him. He wasn't in his room. He knew that. Out the window, the bustling heights of New York came into view, the dark of night broken by skyscrapers that pierced the sky. His last memory was leaving his work at the Daily New Yorker to go home. He rolled over to survey the scene. The room was trashed. He got up from bed, rubbing his eyes. He checked the date on the clock next to the bed. It was 2 days after when he remembered leaving work. He roamed around the room looking for clues. His eyes landed on a desk on the far wall. He picked up a hotel key card. His hands made contact with something on the other side, a wet substance coating his fingers. When he turned it over, he saw a flash drive covered in blood, taped to the back of the hotel key card. Marcus gasped and dropped the card on the floor, then tentatively picked it back up. The flash drive was labeled with tomorrow's date. His reporter skills suddenly came in. He had so many questions. What happened in the last 24 hours? Why is there a bloodied flash drive? Whose blood? Why is it labeled with tomorrow's date? Marcus shuddered. The reality of the situation set in as he wiped the flash drive off. He searched the room and found some of his clothes discarded on the floor. He quickly put on his clothes, pocketed the flash drive, and exited the room, careful to clean the blood off the table before leaving. As he exited the room, he put a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. Walking down the hallway, it became clear this hotel wasn't the fanciest. Dingy wallpaper adorned the walls. On the way out, he passed the manager, who was too interested in his magazine titled Gunnapalooza to notice his exit. The New York night hit him like a truck as he realized he was somewhere in Manhattan. He traveled to the closest newsstand and looked for a paper. It was the usual. Wildfires across the country, another species of animal extinct, and another of many scandals centered around the president. So, nothing new. The newsstand owner asked Marcus if he was going to buy the paper or just stare at it, so Marcus searched his pockets for coins. His fingers brushed the flash drive. He paid the vendor and walked his way down the street. He didn't have anyone to trust, no wife or best friend. He just knew that he had to go to the closest internet cafe and find out what was on this drive. Now, Marcus knew sticking a random flash drive he found on the ground into a personal computer was a great way to invite malware into his life. But he figured that the grime-encrusted computers down at Jason's Internet Lounge already had enough viruses, worms, and spyware to sink a Navy battleship. He jiggled the drive into a computer's slightly misshapen USB port and copied the contents of the drive to the desktop. A warning popped up on the screen and Marcus clicked ignore. The video box popped up. Its resolution was low, but in the small window, Marcus thought he could see a darkened office room. His office, as it were. Marcus felt a tinge go down his spine and checked over his shoulder instinctively. Surely, if someone was capable of monitoring him at work, they could find him here. He swallowed the growing lump in his throat and returned his attention to the video. A figure could be seen shuffling through the building in a half-crouched manner, almost as if he was wary of being noticed. Bold text flashed in all caps for the briefest of seconds. Marcus paused the video and scrubbed backwards, catching a frame of the semi-blurred text. It read, "Corporate espionage is a crime." Marcus resumed the video, now at a different angle, appearing slightly above the man's left shoulder. He could make out the details of the man's hoodie, a baggy gray article that bore the logo of the University of Illinois. That had to be Ricky. His alma mater was Illinois, and he was having some recent financial problems. But would he really resort to sabotaging the network? And if so, what was he trying to get? Marcus watched as Ricky worked his way around the familiar office until he reached the desk of Mr. Richardson, the chief director of network operations. Ricky took out a screwdriver and a hammer and used both to open up the desk. A loud sound compressed by the video's low quality. He reached into the desk and withdrew a flash drive? Not a flash drive, Marcus realized. The flash drive. The one that was currently stuck in the computer he was using. His eyes widened in horror, but before he could act, the camera zoomed in closer. Ricky seemed to notice the presence of the cameraman, and he turned around, revealing a wide-eyed face covered in cuts and bruises. It wasn't Ricky at all. Marcus realized it was Marcus himself. What? He asked aloud, glad that nobody was around in the darkened cafe. How could this be possible? How could he be in the shot? He frantically looked behind him and then out the window of the darkened street. How? He asked, his voice rasping on the cool night air. The shot changed. Now an outdoor shot of the alley beside his workplace. The street lamp flickered as Marcus ran past, followed by several other figures. They appeared to be dressed in hooded jackets and carried what appeared to be clubs, baseball bats, and lengths of iron pipe. Marcus felt a dull throb on the back of his head as if the scene had woken some subconscious pain that lingered within his body. Text flashed across the screen again, faster this time. Marcus paused and scrubbed. It was fainter this time, more distorted by static and interference. Recovered property is to be destroyed after unauthorized use. This, then, must be the recovered property, he reasoned, and someone hadn't wanted him viewing it. A dull throb in his arm caused him to look down where a hasty line of stitches marked flesh that had been closed. That's where I hid the drive, he realized. Though that left him with more questions than answers. Why did he take it, especially if it showed him this? His vision was beginning to swim, his head growing numb. Marcus realized that his hands were shaking. The video cut to black, and when it cut back, Marcus was staring at his own face. The skin was pale, and his eyes were sunken as if he hadn't slept in several days. His jaw was slack open, and it took him a moment to realize that this was himself as he looked into the computer screen, a recording from the computer's built-in face cam. He saw his shoulders spasm uncontrollably, felt his hands go numb. A flush began spreading across his neck, over the bottom half of his face. The words appeared again, but this time not on the computer screen. They flooded in from the edges of his vision, crowding his field of view with innumerable messages. Instructions. Tomorrow, the message said. Unit 803 will be retired. Retirement will take place at exactly
0000
EST at March 4th due to potential contamination stemming from improper handling. Recovered property will be destroyed after unauthorized use. Corporate espionage is a crime and will not be tolerated. Unauthorized use of a bioptic replicant is a crime and will not be tolerated. Cease all attempts to access this unit. Violators will be prosecuted. Initiating system decontamination. The screen cut to black, and Marcus remembered. Excellent, good story.
I really like this one.
I'm gonna.
Holy shit.
My mic just got onto the floor. Yeah. Okay. Who named it between the two of you?
I did.
That was Andrew.
Okay, cool. I'm curious what your intent was with the name. Just pure curiosity.
No, that's totally fair. When I was writing the first half, my reasoning for it, and the reason I had that newspaper thing was that in my mind it was like a reporter who discovers this flash drive. Somehow he got it, and on the flash drive it's saying that the world is going to end tomorrow. A meteor is going to hit the Earth. And the reason why is it's a whole government conspiracy. They want to make a meteorite crash into Earth. Because the world is overpopulated and, whatever.
Very Thanos of them. I like it.
Right. The environment is going bad and whatever, and it's better to just kill half of Earth's population instead. And that was the idea. And so I put a protocol whatever there, overgrowth protocol. That was my initial idea, but I also like this a lot. So yeah.
And then Matthias, I'm curious if you read into the name at all when you were figuring out where you're taking the story.
It was a consideration. I definitely did not grasp what Andrew intended for the first half.
No, for sure. I was just curious if you had been.
I was thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. All right. What's next?
Oh, also, that's me reading. Also, to be fair, I messed up and I gave Matthias the wrong prompt until 2 minutes before we started. So Matthias was
what was the
working
other prompt?
on a different level. Oh my god, it was...
People's shadows stopped disappearing, all disappeared one morning and started sending letters to people. Yeah.
I see. That must have been confusing.
Yeah.
You're like, where do the shadows come
It was
in?
like, it's
There's
the
a
middle of the
USB
night, it's
drive.
not morning, nothing has been mentioned about shadows or letters. Is the USB the letter?
Yeah.
Is it like an E letter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is on me.
Space opera.
Sneaking
Read
right
by
at it
Andrew.
again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Who's
And
the
right.
first and second half on this? Sorry.
The first half of Space Opera is... Give me a second. Iffy. Yep, second half Koda.
Okay. A disgraced starship captain must unite a crew of criminals, outcasts, and rogue AIs to stop an ancient alien weapon from wiping out the galaxy. Enright had been in that plasma cell for nearly 3 weeks when they found him. He was lying on the top bunk of his otherwise empty cell, reading about faraway galaxies where supposedly wizards fought with magic glow sticks. "Hello, Captain Wright. I've been attempting to locate you." The robotic voice Wright heard was not that of one of the many droids that regularly patrolled the cell block. It was the voice of Andric, the onboard navigation AI from Wright's ship, the US FUWU-2. "About damn time, Andric. I thought y'all had up and gone on without me." Without hesitation, he dropped from his bunk and assumed a posture similar to that of a soldier standing at attention. "I'm ready for transport," he stated, a smirk forming at the edges of his lips. "Captain, you have forgotten something," Andric replied. There's no fluctuation in the AI's tone when it spoke, although Wright was sure he had heard the bot sassing him. He sighed. "Please. Of course." Okay. Yes. Not a moment later, Captain Wright found himself on the deck of his ship amongst his ragtag crew, if you could call a group of thrown-together murderers, thieves, stowaways, and deserters a crew. "As much as we would like to give you a hearty welcome back, we need to get underway before the feds come knocking. What's the course, Cap?" asked Lieutenant Fripple, Wright's second-in-command.
Loving the name.
You know, of course, Fripp. We have business with that station in the Uberton sector. What good's freedom if we all die? Get us underway, Andric, please. I expect the strike team to meet me in the Strategy Council room at 1798 sharp. 1 month earlier, Captain Andric and his federally licensed crew were sent to Uberton to act as security detail during the final stages of a project the galactic government had been working on known as Project Finalis. It was there the captain had discovered a dark secret. The station was a weapon, one with the capacity to set off a series of unending explosions designed to replicate the Big Bang. With the help of Andric, he vented his old crew, who would not see the station for what it was. He then went to the nearest prison planet of Dracom to recruit inmates who might have skills and the motivation to run a ship to destroy the federal station. He found that many were happy to join the cause. He was captured, but now he has a second chance to tackle his goal. The disgraced crew of ragtags and less than most climbed into the high-tech council room. The rooms were assessed through crawl space. The Autotron door had long since been out of commission. Triple entered with a heavy clank of an iron leg. His right arm rattled with a metal whirl as an attachment Gatling gun rotated harmlessly. Captain Wright entered with a confident yet compromised stumble. "Are you there, Andric?" uttered Wright. "Yes, sir. Implementing strategy protocol now." The robotic voice echoed through the wide chamber, and the hologram screens jittered with projections, albeit heavily distorted in nature. The screen flashed with a sort of incomplete, exploded diagram of a structure. The file was labeled Ubertan Death. "What is it?" grunted Lieutenant Fripple. Wright snorted. "The arch-nemesis of you and every hope you have... The arch-nemesis of you and every hope you never accomplished anyways." Fripple roared, his mechanic arm whirling now. Wright didn't wince. "You're about to find out while the galactic government doesn't take a liking to an adversary." The room went dark, and a series of yellow bold letters scrolled down from the screen for some reason, in a galaxy far, far away. The pair found themselves in a tight chamber above a large battalion of soldiers and a vast space super technology. "They're not going for our planet. They want the collective energy of this entire galactic plane. exclaims Captain Wright. Good thing I brought my Minecraft 3D holographic skateboard, Aldrin does. With 6 bonus DLC Halo 3 edition sponsored by Bluetooth. Yeah, excellent.
Your story was going so well, and then you just...
I would not say it's going so well, but it was definitely going better than...
What a callback!
The second half of this.
That is a callback. Minecraft 3D holographic skateboard.
Koda?
Will I never escape?
Who wrote this?
Sorry. I ran out of time, okay? What can I say?
You had a great line. You had a great line, and then you killed yourself.
What if we just pretend this doesn't exist and then end it here?
Oh, that's the best part.
And then he suddenly remembered he hadn't paid his ghost insurance for the month.
This will be hard for me to place in my rankings.
Oh, it's gonna be super easy for me to place.
That ending was...
Matthias is like, it's on the bottom.
Number 1.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
He wasn't even here for season 1, but he's still making me references. One game in, he's already figured out the meta.
Halo 3.
I was so into it, and then...
One episode in, he's already figured out the meta. Make fun of me. Damn it. Yeah, it's been the meta for a while.
Alright, so reading fake memoir is going to be Prime.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll put the Pokemon down. Alright. 1 second. It's saving. Hold on. Oh. Okay, how long is this one? It's not that bad. Okay. Fake memoir. First half by Josh. God damn it. First half by Josh.
Come on.
second half by Andrew. Okay.
Hope you enjoy.
So do I.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I faked my own death in 1997 to escape a Scrabble debt and accidentally became a cult leader in rural Estonia.
Yeah.
My name is Wadey Amelia Krill. At the age of 6, I was born without a face. I was sent off to France by my single mother to get it fixed. By the age of 13, I'd been passed between 6 different countries to rectify my peculiar birth defect. Starting in France, to Italy, Serbia, Slovakia, Belgium, before finally landing in Germany. Many surgeons had tried, and all had failed to find both a suitable facial donor, as well as successful surgery that didn't result in any worsening of my already stupid head. By 96, age 15, I was honestly about ready to give it all up. Almost 70 surgeries, all had failed. I figured I just wasn't made to live in this world, until one day, a peculiar stranger had come up to me. He'd asked me how long I had been at this. I told him since I was born, which had him very confused, so my medical file had me down for 9 years. I found no confusion. Nonetheless, he had a proposition for me, to take me to a hospital in Leipzig, which had been developing a new way for both eye replacements and facial skin grafts. He had already talked to the man in charge of this hospital, and he had apparently said, "Please take him." I suppose I had no choice but to journey to Leipzig for a face.
That's Leipzig.
I'm not German.
I don't give a shit.
Leipzig.
I don't speak Nazi, alright?
Yeah. Once we had arrived, I was greeted with many friendly faces, supposedly, who were very excited to see me. Apparently, they had heard of the tale of the boy with no face. I didn't see it as a compliment, and they treated me like a celebrity, which I disliked immensely. I just wanted to be like them. Have a face. During my year there, as they were finessing the procedure after multiple tries, but technically no fails, just tests. I managed to get really good at Scrabble, to the point where there was a monthly Scrabble tournament. All the patients, doctors, and nurses. I, somehow, was the best, and I'll be honest,
I kind of enjoyed it. One match, however, was different. I'd won the final championship, and I was going to be given a trophy of some kind. I thought to myself, is this finally it? Will I finally be given my face? Not so much. Apparently they wanted to put me out of my misery. Oh, fuck that shit. Clutching my hat, I felt the nearest breeze. So he is blind. I was even talking. But I felt the nearest breeze and leapt out the window.
Okay.
I felt as fast as the wind as the shot.
I would love to hear part 2. This is it.
Okay. Didn't you write part 2?
No, this is
No,
Andrew.
that's me.
Andrew.
Oh.
Yep, quite the thing to follow.
Glorious. Well, he knows not of bizarro fantasy. I felt as fast as the wind as the shots became more and more distant. I was somewhere in Leipzig, and I was sure as shit not going to see those Scrabble fuckers anytime soon. Euthanize? In Scrabble? It's worth 22 points without any power-ups, but it wasn't worth anything to me. I soon made it a major road, and I followed it from the tree line, past Berlin. My burning rage satiated me, and the occasional dumpster dive. Does he have a fucking mouth? He doesn't have a face. I saw my ticket out of this hellhole at a small town near Sherwin.
How did he see it? If he has no eyes.
I had no idea where it was going, but anywhere it was better than here. I threw some loose Scrabble pieces I had in my pocket. As a distraction, I slipped past the gate onto the plane. I hid behind some boxes as the plane took off. Several hours later, I felt the plane land, and the large door to the back of the plane opened. I heard the pilot mention Estonia. As he was looking over some crates, I snuck away, but then heard him shout something at me in German. I turned, but my face, or lack thereof, gave him such a shock that he fainted on the spot. Supposedly, I ran out of the plane into the surrounding forest. I don't remember much about those ensuing weeks. It comes back to me in flashes. The random small animal marked to get food, and the building of a small tent out of a tarp I found. I would wander around the forest constantly in search for food, and that's when I found the encampment. It first smelled... questions. The smoke from the fire that were burning. Then I saw the neat circle of tents. I saw that the people living there were doing some kind of ritual around the fire, circling it and chanting. I emerged from the brush, my face non-existent, and yet covered in a long beard. In a beard of long and twisty hair. I had on nothing except the Captain Crunch. God damn it! Captain Crunch cereal bar. Supposed to be chocolate. Which I had fastened into a crude mini skirt. The first member who saw me, a large man with tattoos on his face, pointed at me. The rest of the members turned. I thought I would see horror on their faces. I was wrong. The large man fell to his knees and shouted. Something I couldn't catch in Estonia, and the rest followed. I just stood there and scratched my butt under the Captain Crunch in Estonia. Down, crunch, mini skirt. A woman in the crowd produced something akin to a necklace, seemingly made of bones. She rushed to me and put it around my neck, and then fell to her knees. I noticed pagan symbols around the camp and surmised that they had taken me as an act of God, most likely helped by my lack of face. This was an interesting development. In my years going across Europe for surgery, I picked up some rudimentary Estonian. I could hear them chanting, "Leader, leader, leader." In a split-second decision, I threw my hands in the air and yelled something akin to "Worship me, mortals!" I found out later it was actually "Birthday, me weak people!" The crowd recoiled, and began to praise a god I didn't recognize. The large man ran up to me and ushered to me the largest of the tents. I asked for his name. He said, "Igar." I only said this, "Igar, I have a game to show you. This will be the most important moment of your life."
I love this story. This is great. I everything I envisioned
about the lack of face and yet ability to at times smell and see.
I was imagining
my favorite part is the fact that nowhere in the prompt does it mention that he doesn't have a face.
Also, I feel like it's really important to know, does euthanize actually give you 22 points in Scrabble?
This is important.
This is
important. This will make or break the entire story. I'll have you know.
Yeah,
It is
like the lure,
realistic.
honestly.
I looked it up. It does. It's 22 points.
Okay, so is there like a place where you can just look up like entire words worth?
Yes, there is.
Okay. I was thinking, no shot you spent the time looking up the individual values. And then I thought, maybe you just spelled euthanize enough times.
It's gotta be double word.
Must be a double word or like a triple letter or something? What's going on?
That's remember he said without any bonuses.
No bonus.
No bonus.
That's
the Z is 10 points, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, it sounds right.
Last time I played Scrabble, I could read Chinese.
You know, I was waiting for the brown tattoo marks. I was really waiting for it.
It's coming around. They're coming back.
To be honest, I'm extremely disappointed, Josh, in you specifically. There's not as much Bizarro Fantasy as there could have been, given the prompts that I had given you. The other one,
I'm
might I
actually
remind
really
you...
happy with how this turned out.
I
think
thought he
Josh
did really
did a
well
great
in that
job.
first half.
All
I
right.
thought
You
this
picked no, it was fine. It just wasn't as Josh as it
We
could
got
have
one
Josh.
last story
Yes,
before
I think
we
it's
get
gamers,
to
it
that
is
discussion
getting
segment,
late,
right? So
and we still have the discussion segment to go.
let's head
We'll
on
get
to
there, we'll get
surrealism.
And one story.
All right,
Surrealism,
surrealism
read by
Koda.
Commoner.
Good for me. Alright. Okay, let me go find the link to that.
It's a single page, which means
It is the shortest story.
Alright,
it is surrealism.
So, everyone.
Oh, my
Silence and
access
Peanut
has
Gallery.
expired.
What's our who are our first and second half contributors here?
Excellent. First half Koda, second half Nicholas.
Wonderful. Alright. Surrealism.
I'm excited to do this.
A city wakes to find all its shadows have detached and begun living lives of their own. The metropolitan awakes. Not from their dreams, not from their work, but something else. It was a flash, a wave, a fire. A deafening noise that would silence the world. People in the city awoke with a dulled sense of perception. Something was off. Subtle and odd as it was, things just didn't seem real. Why, of course, our shadows were missing. The people thought that they were crazy until they only stepped outside. Everyone was flat, but the shadows were all about. And they were running? No, they were escaping. But why? Some shadows were digging into the ground aimlessly, others gripping their extremities. Some even cried deaf sobs of tears. The people panicked and looked amongst each other. One part wonder, 2 parts fear. The shadows would fall off buildings, float down the stream, aimless and flat. The children say that the shadows remember. Then grew an eerie noise from the west. A local train rumbling? No, it was the planes. The planes descended gracefully. Angelic screams of engines whined beautifully as wings were seen slicing fluffy clouds of abstract shapes and sizes. The shadows aboard with their newfound dimensions were quick to embrace the roundness of the earth. Could shadows die? The ones floating flat through the river's calm rapids had no comment on the matter. The colorful emptiness of the cheeks of metropolitan people began to cause controlled panic. People talked in loud whispers. Some tried to grasp the dead life of the time before. All acted as if nothing out of the ordinary was happening. Was it coincidental that only those who played in the sun were more calm about today? No. They were clearly more akin to such oddities, all while the shadows traveled and played with their fleshy forms. The children chanted gleefully in circles of sorrow that the shadows remembered. Both people and the shadows ran from such sights, with people never quite outpacing the theoretical competition of the shadows. Escape was all that anyone defined, unlike the planes. Planes of view were colliding as on the people and not the shadows. The crushing mass lifted our spirits to new heights and perspectives. A reality check? Of course not. As the bodies of the people touched the physical form of the shadows, their bodies warped into the splitting outline of the being. Some believed that the very sun controlled the shape of form that we began to take. But why? The shadows began casting sounds that would pierce through the body, harming the egos of mature people. Why would the shadows look at such terrible people? A cheery sound of death came from the east as we were all imprisoned in the free life of a shadow. Interesting.
I am very confused.
It was surrealist.
Yeah.
I
That's
can
very
say that.
surrealist.
Yeah.
Very
That
surreal.
was a surreal experience. All right, so let's get to the actually long section.
Yep.
I mean, not
Is
really,
Nick
kind
there?
of.
Nick?
Still here.
Yep.
Now we're
Still
gonna go ahead and talk about best
That
halves.
shit was baller.
Indeed.
So,
Yeah, dude.
Well, we gotta.
I thought we did the
vote
genre
first.
really well.
oh yeah, all right, general votes, everyone.
All
Okay,
right.
so here's the
So,
voting order.
in the writing game chat, we are going to rank all the stories.
Six.
The
On a
highest
scale of
number
six.
equals the highest votes.
Yes, the highest number is 6, that is the story you like the most. The lowest number is 1, that is the story you like the least. Do not vote for anything you worked on.
Fix that.
Okay, gamers. So we're
You
gonna
know
just
my
go
ranking.
straight down the list here, okay? First up on the story is romance. That means Prime and me are not allowed to contribute to the conversation based on which half is better at all, and that's for the rest of you to decide. Who do you think had the better half between me and Prime? Go ahead. Yeah, if anyone has their vote ready immediately,
yeah.
feel free to place it.
I don't remember a whole bunch, but I did like the second half better, mainly because it actually was a bit more of a romance story, whereas the first half was just kind of walking around talking to characters.
But the first half introduced the story and made the setting.
Yes.
I like the first half better because it makes more sense generally. The second half, helmet came off, head explodes.
I mean, it didn't make
It
sense
has.
from the beginning, and I believe that it stayed on theme. And
That's
I
fair.
did like the action that was taking in the better half. I'm leaning towards the second half myself personally, because it took this bizarre situation and made it work in a weird way. I don't have the story. The prompts really did hurt the story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
The
think,
romance does happen in the second half,
I think
but I would
both-
argue that it could not have happened in the second half if the first half wasn't set up so well.
Yeah, I liked the first half generally better. Mostly because I think just combined with the prompt, hard to follow that story and put it into a a nice ending. Especially, I was wondering when the whole poetry bit was gonna come in, and it never really did. I don't know. It was just I totally agree, a weird prompt. I like the first part better than the second.
Yeah.
So that's 2 for the first half and 2 for the second half.
Oh.
We have more votes, thankfully. Matter of fact, we should have a total of 6 votes.
Yeah.
So that leaves,
Indeed.
I believe, Joshua and Koda undecided.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the
I'm
first
fine.
half as well, in my opinion. Because, like Andrew said, there was the fact that, there was that lack of poetry from Comet, and also.
I mean, it showed the images of the Shakespeare.
I suppose, but I think I still prefer the first half over the second half.
Okay.
We can't really be too critical about missing prompt bits. There's missing prompt bits in both half, but the prompt was incredibly complex and overly long to begin with.
Which is why I usually encourage people to re-roll if you get shitty prompts, just because it makes for unfun stories.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a good prompt, and I do like how the story turned out. But fair. We'll move on to
That's
the next
going
one
to
then.
be going to the first half then. Good discussion, everyone.
All right.
Okay.
Moving
It
on.
could be that way sometimes.
Yep, we're gonna head on
Folk
over
story.
to folk story now.
Indeed.
Our 2 contributors on that was Joshua and Nicholas, I believe.
Yes, though reversed. Nicholas is the first half, Josh is the second.
I really liked this story. And I really liked the incorporation of the lullaby and how the lyrics were actually written down. And because of that, I'm gonna give it to the first half, just because they came up with that idea.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with giving it to the first half for that story, because I felt that it just had a little more, like, solid structure going on. I was kind of confused about what was going on in the second half in terms of, like, the ending and whatnot. Like, what was going on there entirely, especially considering the, like, you are like us, you hear us and you hear the howls and wanting to wish to be free, the wolves hold your ancestors. I'm like, I kind of get what's happening there.
Are they werewolves?
For me, it was the last sentence.
Like, yeah.
Because right up until that point, I assumed Lobo was a name. And when you wrote, it means she-wolf, I put it in Google Translate, and it...
This is Google Translate. Like, is this something that, like, you know? Is this from a specific language, or is this like an in-universe kind of detail?
It's Spanish for wolf.
Ah.
I can agree with first two speakers. I think the first half was a little bit more compelling and a little bit more cogent. I thought the second part was good because it continued what the first part set, the precedent that set. But the ending of the second part was I think a little bit rough, and at times I was a little bit lost. So I am going to give it to the first part.
And I'm going to have to agree with you there. So my reasoning is, right, the best part of this, I think, is the song, right? The wolf song, right? The first half comes up with that. The first half is also more coherent. I found myself stumbling a lot in that second half on the, like the read out. And I think that's why I'm going to have to give it to the first.
Alright, that seemed pretty unanimous.
Yep, at very least that's 4 votes, and so it would not be possible to flip it. If anyone has any opinions to the contrary, we'd love to hear them. But...
Alright, Nicholas, you get that extra point.
Sounds good.
Woo!
Look at that. Alright.
Okay, next up on the docket is Cosmic Horror. That is me and Matthias. Matthias starting out, me finishing it up. Give me your opinions.
First half.
I also have to go with the first half. Although, Connor, your that word, the Cherokee, I thought that was pretty clever. It's just the last lines that you gave there made it a bit easier for me to pick the first half.
Oh, that's why I'm picking the second half, though. I really liked the
Interesting.
ending. Like, for me, both halves of the stories were very coherent. They're both well written. It meshes well. I just really like the ending. The second half felt a lot more cosmic horror-y to me, which is inherent to a second half. The second half is going to have an easier time exploring a prompt than the first half. But just the Cherokee word was cool, and I like the ending. It was spooky.
I do have to agree with Iffy here. I do like the second half better, and it's mostly like what Iffy said. It got a whole bunch more into the cosmic horror of things, which it's unfortunate because the first half does do a great job of setting up a lot of this stuff. I just in the first half got a little bit lost at points, not sort of lost as in like confused, but lost as in like my mind is drifting a little bit. So just being able to sort of keep that story progression going with interesting beats. So I think the second part did that really well. The first, I think it was all really well written. I think it was all great. I think the second part just edges it out just a little bit.
All right, Josh, what is your opinion?
Yeah, I think I'm also gonna have to give it to the second.
All right.
I think you guys are just crazy.
I mean, the horror story. Do you have a preferred half? Koda?
Probably Philip.
I don't know if he exists
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I think
Okay,
he's just
cool.
tired. Cosmic Horror.
Did Prime have a say?
He did.
Wait, I said it first.
Yeah.
Damn it.
First half.
All right.
That is still currently 2-3, I believe.
Yes, it is indeed.
All
so
right,
better
then.
half goes to Connor on that one. Next up, epistolary fiction.
What if you said me, Andrew? Yeah. Is that...
Okay, now this story, oh man, I don't know which to choose. The first
Glad to see you're
half,
having a good time.
the first half did multiple letters, which was excellent.
Alright. Okay.
Oh, but the second half did continue in that and did add to the story with a good ending. It had a good ending that was fitting.
Yes, epistolary fiction. I definitely need to pop back on that and read it a little bit, just to remember which half contained which things.
So, I think I've got a fully formed opinion on this right here, right now.
You go for it. Go for it.
And that is, I do like the first half better. It does contain more of that epistolary elements, whereas the second half feels like the majority of it is just a giant text block, right?
It's a lore dump.
Yeah, exactly, right. Just in terms of looking at it, right. But then when you actually get into it, there's a lot more clunk in terms of sentence structure, and just the general tone ends up getting a little mashed or muddled.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. I think the second part is, it's comedic, and it was decently funny. But when I was going to the story, I thought the first half, especially, really embracing the epistolary format. I really loved that. And then we hit the second part, and I was like, this is still kind of enjoyable because it's funny, but I really wished that we would have continued that epistolary style, story, especially since that was sort of the theming for this. And I can agree that it probably would have helped to have some paragraph breaks, some a once over or two, but for those reasons, I'm going with first half over second half.
I do agree with that quite a bit. I think that if the second half had been approached more as a hey, I visited my grandmother, now and then there's a quick bit of out-of-world exposition to explain she had some more letters between the two.
Yep.
And then he's letting me read them, and then you can explain through correspondence after the incident happened. But so yeah, that seems pretty unanimous.
Cool. I have to say the second half definitely. I knew where I wanted to go, but I do have to give it to the first half for sure. It definitely stuck with
If y'all
epistolary
found the
fiction
tone
more.
comedic, I definitely failed as an author there.
I didn't see it as comedic. I saw it as a aunt or whoever, as she was trying to protect her family and play it off as try to make it a little lighter for her to take. Be
And maybe it was
very...
the reading a little bit that kind of gave it that tone. I don't think it's entirely your fault.
I tried to make it a different voice at least. And I
Okay.
definitely wasn't trying to be funny with it.
I think the epistolary part is definitely fair criticism. As an author, I felt kind of stuck not doing that for a minute due to the last paragraph that was given to me from the first half. Although the criticism is absolutely fair.
Next up is space opera.
I thought it was the
I think
I
it's
thought it was
thriller.
thriller. Yep.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I've got them all.
You're right, you're right.
I've read them.
Good God, there's a lot of these.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing the
Holy
fucking
shit.
stats, man. All right.
I begin to suspect maybe we should have done the one new person per time.
Yep.
No. Next time we're gonna have 2 more. It's gonna be 10.
No, please, God, I don't want to stay up past 3 p.m. Okay, let's go.
3
thriller,
p.m.
Yes. I mean AM. You know what I mean. We have D&D tomorrow.
Yeah, we
Overgrowth Protocol. I'll go ahead and start us out on this one. I honestly found these two pretty close. I feel like the first half is a lot of good setup, and that the second half, of course, as the second halves do, get into the meat of it a little bit more. But I feel like that I personally enjoyed the second half more because I felt like the tone of the first was a little bit kind of start and stoppy. Just the punctuation was a little bit jarring for me to read while I was going through that, and I enjoyed the descriptiveness of the second half a lot more. That the fact that I am taking it down to being how it feels to read, I think is showing that both halves were strong at portraying the genre, and both of them did a good job in this story. So I'm taking it down to just kind of like how it feels to read, and the any grammatical criticisms I have of it. That is my opinion.
I gotta go with the second half too.
Yeah. I think the second half pulled ahead far enough story progression over the first that I'm gonna have to give it to the second half. It's pretty easy in my opinion. In this case,
I'm gonna agree with Connor for pretty much exactly the same reasons.
Yeah.
I thought the ending for the story really seized its position. It was up to interpretation. It had that thriller aspects to it, and it had a satisfactory ending that left you wanting more.
That was quick and easy. Space opera. First half.
Space. Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Like 1 million. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, first half, but there was a really good line in the second half that I.
Yeah, the second half had great potential, and we know what happened to the second half.
Yeah, I do like the second half a little bit better. The comedy in the first half is not to my taste, and that's my opinion.
I agree. I was gonna go second half on this one all the way, and then the last line just killed it. Or last two lines rather, but yeah.
It's really funny you saying that, considering you're the one that wrote tragic comedy. Just saying, just putting that out there.
That was on theme. Right.
Was it really?
Yes.
I'll also do the first half.
Okay. Do we have a tally on those? So I was on first half.
Yeah, no. Everyone said first half.
Everyone's on first half.
We're all
Cool.
good. We're all good.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's not even a discussion
Now,
at this point. Yeah.
Next up,
Fake memoir.
and almost last, fake memoir.
Second half.
Definitely.
Yep.
I like the first half better.
Okay.
I do. Okay, yeah, second half. Sorry, but this fucking Scrabble detail.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's
That
and
kind of just like lays it right in there for me.
it embraces
I love
the comedy. I like the recurring bit where he keeps feeling the need to mention that Estonian Captain Crunch is
Oh wait, I
full of
did
K.
get these mixed up.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna go with the second half.
That was really good.
Or
The specifics in it, like euthanize being worth 22 points.
It's
Really
just a wonderful detail. I love the fact that he's wearing a cardboard box skirt.
The first half.
The first half gets credit because the being
sure.
having no face, right, is not mentioned in the prompt, and he just took that upon himself to, jam that in.
That was impressive. The character presentation
and I think it was
impressive.
written well too.
Yeah,
It
both halves break the faceless nature, as far as I understand it. But
It's kind of hard to write a story about traveling across multiple countries from the perspective of Helen Keller, so they kind of have to.
But it's not an honest story anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
it's in
If someone's
fact
lying
intentionally
and
a
telling you
fake
a story,
they're
gonna mess up sometimes.
Yeah,
And that's how I read that.
It's integrity. Cool, but we agree on second half.
Yep.
Second half.
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
The realism, Jesus Christ, I don't know. The first half, just because you have the
second half is better written.
I definitely the second half is way better.
The first half is very
I got
broken.
3 for second half. All right. That is what I'm
The
doing.
realism in its own, the realism in its nature is broken.
Yeah. I liked the fact that at the very least the second half was able to call on and expand with greater detail things that were mentioned kind of briefly and brokenly in the first half, right? Like the thing about the river, trying to find it in the first half, it's kind of hard to find anything in the shadows would fall off of buildings, floats down the stream, aimless and flat. Was kind of hard to follow and understand, but then the second half follows that in with Could shadows die? The ones floating flat through the river's calm rapids had no comment on the matter, which I think is a wonderful line. Especially just they had no comment on the matter, as if the shadows were going to start talking, which we don't know if they can or can't, but I just really like that.
The inspiration was the nuclear
2, 3,
fallout
so
from
5.
Hiroshima.
Really?
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
the shit.
I thought it was really
7.
cool. He did do a good
Shadows,
job writing
right?
it.
Yes,
I just like the sentence
13.
structure in the second half better.
50,
Yes, I agree. It felt like
Yeah.
a little bit more poetic, which I feel is
I agree.
a
didn't pull the-
strength.
Alright, 6,
Nuclear shadows.
7, 8.
Although
What
the
was
ideas
in the
and concept
second?
for the first half were very good.
Alright.
Did anyone understand what was happening in the second half?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so. To a degree.
Joshua, what's your opinion on this story?
Short, sweet, to the point.
I just
Josh.
liked having a bit of variety in our genres.
So I pictured the shadows, like the people were becoming the shadows, and the shadows were becoming the people. And so I was trying to describe that story.
No, I kind of got that concept when you described the people as flat and the shadows being flesh or fleshy masses.
Yeah, I took that from the first paragraph, and I was like, oh, okay, I will work with that and drive the story towards that goal.
Was the Hiroshima inspiration specifically the shadow people that were left on walls from the explosion?
That partly, like, I've witnessed, I've seen that what you're referring to, but kind of, I got the sense of like dread and like if you get nuked, in the sense of your community or your city and everyone, like you really, if you die in that kind of thing, you don't really understand what happened. So that's kind of why I kind of played into the shadows. Like your shadows exist even though you don't want them to or know that they're there. So the kind of the surrealism of a nuke hitting your community in your city kind of played into my story a little bit.
That's really cool, I think.
Yep.
Honestly, dude, your surrealism was really good.
That's more thought put into the story than I put into most anything else I've written.
It wasn't
just
many
a-
words, but it was good.
Yeah, that's kind of the angle I took anyways, and it seemed, I thought it was poetic and slightly, I left it open-ended because I want, obviously that's kind of the game here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, post-production Heck here. Finally got the scores in. Koda didn't vote the night of, so we had to wait a little while for him to actually put in his votes in order to actually calculate the scores for the episode. So we did not do it the night of, that's why I have to do it in post. Right on the screen now should be the story scores. As you can see, it was a fairly competitive episode. You're going to see that too when we move over to the actual final scores. Spoiler alert, I did end up winning this episode. But yeah, no, this episode was absolute chaos. The raw recording for it was 10.5 hours long. It is our longest session to date. I think, or at least I hope it's going to remain our longest session, for the foreseeable future. Anyway, episode 3 should be coming out shortly. I will see you guys in that one.